Good day to everyone. Now we are going to see about variable head flow meters. In that we are going to find the expression for the flow rate through restriction. In the variable head flow meters, these are the following contents. It follows with the expression of the flow rate through restriction. Then comes with the orifice plate, which is a primary element in the head flow measurement. And we are going to see different types of orifice plates. CD variation, pressure tapings, etc. Then followed by we are going to see the another primary element, which is a venturi tube, followed by flow nozzle, Dahl tube, pitot tube, and we are going to see the two different types of pitot tube. One is the combined pitot tube and averaging pitot tube, and finally we end up with the first unit with the installation and applications of head flow meters. Then we are going to see the expression for the flow rate through restriction. So first we look into the theory of fixed restriction variable head flow type meters. Here a restriction of known dimensions is generally introduced into the pipeline. Therefore, there occurs a head loss at the pressure drop at the restriction so that there is an increase in flow velocity. And the measurement of pressure drop is nothing but the flow rate. Here is the schematic representation of the one-dimensional flow system, where V1 is the entry velocity, A1 is the corresponding area, and Z1 corresponds to the third dimension. P1 is the pressure during the input side, and we are giving some restriction. The restriction is as here follows. We may have the primary element, which may be a orifice or venturi or a pitot tube, so that what happen, a vena contracta will be occurred, so the pressure will be dropped, so that the velocity will be increased. The secondary velocity will be A2. The corresponding area is velocity is V2, corresponding area is A2, and the third dimension is Z2, and the reduction of pressure is indicated by. So we derive the a derivation using our Bernoulli's theorem. The Bernoulli's theorem states that in a flowing stream, the sum of the pressure head, velocity head, and the elevation head at one point is equal to the sum at another point in the direction of flow plus the loss due to the friction between the 2 points. Velocity head is defined as the vertical distance through which a liquid would flow to attain a given velocity. Pressure head is the vertical distance which a column of the flowing liquid would rise in an open-ended tube as a result of the static pressure. In general, we will discuss about a one-dimensional flow system. Then we are going to see the flow of incompressible fluids in pipes. So first we look into the upstream tap, and section 2 is our downstream tap. T, A, rho, V, P and Z represent the temperature, area, density, stream velocity, pressure and central line elevation. This elevation is quite small, so it's that Z2 minus Z1 is negligible. So according to Bernoulli's equation for an incompressible liquid, the density will be on both sides will be equal, that is rho 1 is equal to rho 2. That is, it is frictionless, and adaptive flow is represented like P1 by rho plus V1 square divided by 2G equal to P2 by rho plus V2 square by 2G as indicated by equation 1. That G is, we very well know, it is an acceleration due to gravity. So these are the basic equation from which we are going to derive the remaining. Then we are iterating the derivation, that is P1 minus P2 is equal to V2 square rho by 2G 1 minus V1 by V2 the whole square. Equation 2, and we are writing the continuity equation for this flow. Q2 is equal to A2 equal to A2 V2 equal to A1 V1, where Q is the volume flow rate in meter cube per second. We are combining the equation 2, that is equation 2 is pressure difference, and equation 3 is volume flow rate. Combining the two equations, I am getting the equation 4, which represents the flow rate. And we are having small parameters like H, which is P1 minus P2 divided by rho, which is a differential head. And we are also having the velocity of the equation whatever we have derived is ideal volume flow rate. For actual flow rate condition with the frictional losses present, a correlation to this formula is necessary. Besides, the minimum area of flow channel occurs not at the restriction, but at some point slightly stream known as the vena contracta. This in turn depends upon the flow rate. When tappings are fixed, the minimum position of the maximum velocity changes with the changing of flow rate. The basic equations are as follows. The first equation is V, which is equal to K1 by root H, and next is the volume flow rate Q, and is the W. Then we have to define various parameters, where the parameters are V equal to velocity of the fluid, Q is the volume flow rate, W is the mass flow rate, A is the cross-sectional area of the pipe, H is the differential head between the points of measurement, Rho the density of the flowing fluid, K1 is constant, which includes ratio of cross-sectional area of the pipe to the cross-sectional area of the nozzle or other restrictions, which will be a primary sensing element. Okay, we have to define some parameters. First one is the beta ratio, which is the ratio between the diameter of the restriction to the inside diameter of the pipe, which is given by small d divided by capital D. And small d is the diameter of the restriction and capital D is the inside diameter of the pipe, followed by Reynolds number, which is a ratio, so it doesn't have any unit, so it is called as a dimensionless ratio. The Reynolds number is given by a equation rho Vd divided by mu, where V is the velocity and D is the diameter of the pipeline, rho is the density and mu is the absolute viscosity. And next is important parameter when concerned with the fluid flow, which is a discharge coefficient. It is defined as a ratio between the actual volumetric flow rate and ideal volumetric flow rate, and followed by flow coefficient, which measures the relative efficiency of the allowing fluid. And the fluid K is given by CD divided by root of 1 minus beta power 4, where 1 minus root of beta power 4, beta into 4 is the velocity approach factor. Then this is the diagram for the orifice plate, and we are going to measure the differential pressure The orifice meter acts as a primary sensing element. We are going to tap, or we are going to measure the pressure between the primary end, or the end at the one point and end at the second point, and we are going to measure the differential pressure between the 2 points. The section 1 is nothing but your before the application of restriction, so which may be the pressure P1, and the section 2 will be the P2. It is after restriction. So we are going to measure the pressure difference between the section 1 and section 2, and that will be measured using a U-tube manometer. Okay, then we are going to measure the fluid flow with an orifice with the help of a differential manometer, which has been explained in the previous diagram. So the small deviation or derivation for the flow rate is given by, that is P1 minus P2 equal to rho m minus rho f into H, where H is the differential at the restriction. We'll be measuring the liquid column height, and rho being the density of the rho m being the density of the manometer liquid, and rho f the weight density of the fluid over the manometric liquid. So combining all the major equations like 4, 11 and 12, we'll be measuring the volumetric flow rate. Then by assuming no heat loss from the fluid or no external work to be done by the fluid, and neglecting the small data level difference Z1 minus Z2, we're having the final equation, which is P2V2 plus V2 square divided by 2G plus JE2 is equal to P2V1 plus V1 square divided by 2G plus JE. Then we are doing the applying the enthalpy, and finally we are getting the continuity equation and find the mass flow rate. Equation 18 is modified, and we try to get the equation 20, which is W equal to C A1 square beta square A1 into beta square. An additional parameter Y is also defined, where Y equal to compressible flow rate divided by incompressible flow rate. By determining the mass flow rate for incompressible fluids multiplied with Y, flow rate for the compressible fluids can be found out, and Y can be easily shown as in the equation 21. Okay, then substituting or calculating Y from equation 21, the empirical relations are suggested which give a good results. So that Y is given by equation 22. When the gas contains a moisture, a further correction factor is required to account correctly for the density of the vapor. So M equal to 1 plus rho V into SV divided by S minus 1 divided by rho, which is equation 23, where PV is the vapor pressure and SV is the vapor specific gravity, referred to air at the same pressure and temperature. And S is the specific gravity of the gas, P is the pressure of the gas. Then we try to find the specific volume of the gas, which is given by P equal to YRT divided by P, where R is a gas constant. So therefore the flow rate for gases is given by equation 25, which is Q equal to Ka2 into Y Vb divided by Mb into root of 2g m1 rho m minus rho f into h divided by v1, and the various parameters are explained